Deborah, there were failures in the Bush administration. There's early failures in this administration. Do you think we can do anything firm to stop all of this?
Yes, I do. I think first of all, we need to understand who this enemy is. And once we understand that they are committed, they are resolved, and they are going to stay in this fight for generations. What we need to do is accept that and not fool ourselves into thinking that if we're kind, that if we show them forbearance, that if we close places like Guantanamo, where we keep known, committed, and hardened terrorists away from our soil, that is what is going to keep us safe. And we have to understand that the key to all this is intelligence. When that man, that credible man, walked into the U.S. Embassy in Nigeria, the first thing the State Department should have done was to find out whether or not this man, his son, was issued a visa and revoked it. They had the authority to do it. That would have kept him off the plane right there. We didn't need to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on body scanners to keep him off the plane if they'd done that one thing.
Alice, at this time of the year, is it more particularly difficult for you?
Yes, of course, but I live with the fact that my son will not be with me every day. And the word hero has been bandied about and abused, but my hero is Casper Scheringa, who mustered all his courage, stood up, ran to this ugly guy, yanked him out of his burning seat, hauled him out, and thwarted him, and in so doing was able to make up for several levels of failure in security that should have kept the guy off the plane in the first place. It showed up that just the same thing that happened on Flight 93 on September 11th, that a small group of passengers, when they're confronted with the facts, can indeed summon the courage to act together and make up for the security deficiencies that I'm afraid are still very prevalent in our security system. I'm just so grateful to President Obama for acknowledging that there has been a systemic failure and that we do need to continue working, that we are a little bit safer now, but not nearly as safe as we should be. I agree with Thomas Kean and with Paul Bremer. They are both correct. It's a winnable war, but we have a long way to go.
David, you have any optimism?
Well, Larry, I am an optimist, and I think good, committed people with making this a priority, we can continue to make our world safer. Yes. I am chagrined by some of the sort of knee-jerk reaction or something to gain a little favor and help us think more positively, in that if the enemy has a sense of humor, then they must be chuckling about our response that says, okay, all Americans are going to have to stay in their seats like third graders for the last hour of the flight, which I see as ridiculous and really having nothing to do with solving the problem. We got to do better than that.
Deborah?
Yes, and I think that talk about knee-jerk, that the TSA, really, they're abusing passengers at this point, and that's part of jihad. They love to see us go through these shenanigans, jumping through hoops. Janet Napolitano pointed to how everything ran so smoothly afterwards. The TSA stepped up their security measures. They were doing pat-downs on people. Pat-downs. These explosives were kept in this man's groin area in the crotch. Nobody is being patted down in that area. So this is all for show, and they have to stop doing that. The American people understand that is a dog and pony show, and it has to stop.
3 victims speaking out. David Beamer, Deborah Burlingame, Alice Hoagland, our thoughts will always be with them.
Thank you, Larry.
Former Vice President, Happy New Year. Former Vice President Dick Cheney slams President Obama, saying he's trying to pretend we're not at war. Has the president done enough? We'll debate the politics of terror when we come back.